Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Red Dead Redemption 2 video, we're going to be finding out what happens if the strange man visits his own cabin. So I'm sure a lot of you guys are asking, Mr. Boss, what are you talking about? How is that even possible? Well, thanks to Red Dead Redemption 2 releasing on PC, we're obviously able to spawn in all of the characters that appear in-game. And what's very special about the strange man is that normally you only saw his reflection in a mirror if you had 100% completion and visited his cabin. Now, we had also previously seen what he looks like and sounded like in the first Red Dead Redemption game as he visited John Marston on several occasions.
John Marston?
Do I know you?
I hope so. I seem to know you.
I'm pretty good at remembering faces.
Are you? Do you remember Hattie McCourt's face?
Who?
She was a girl Dutch Vanderlyn shot in the head on that raid on the ferry a few years back. Same one you got shot on. Pretty girl, until her eye was hanging out by a thread of tendon and her brain was plastered over a wall.
Not really.
Then why would you remember me, friend? You've forgotten far more important people than me.
What's your game, friend?
I don't have a game, John. Listen, sometimes I just wish I'd known more about life. Welcome to Nuevo Paraiso, John.
Where do I know you from?
You're famous, John. You're the man who shot a bunch of banditos as soon as he turned up in this country. You're a man who decided right and wrong, between a man and death, between a man and his wife.
And who are you?
You know, I admire you, John. I hope my boy turns out just like you.
For your sake, I hope he don't.
You kill people so easily, yet you respect the vows of marriage. That's very curious.
I'll let the appropriate authorities judge my morality, friend.
Yes, you will. And they shall. Hey, there's a beautiful spot.
Sure. What are you doing here?
My accounts. I'm an accountant.
Is that so?
In a way.
What's your name?
You know, it's the darndest thing. I can't remember.
Tell me your damn name and where you know me from.
Well, I know you're from Mexico. I know you're from back out west. Hell, I know you from all over.
Tell me your name or I won't be responsible for my actions.
Oh, but you will. You will be responsible. This is a fine spot. See you around, cowboy.
Damn you!
Yes, many have.
But anyways, getting back to Red Dead Redemption 2, as you guys can see here, one of the models in-game is CS_Mysterious Stranger. Now, I don't know why he's called Mysterious Stranger in the game files, but again, Rockstar have done this in the past where they give nicknames to the characters in-game. It might have just been easier than writing Strange Man, even though that's a lot shorter. Who knows? Whatever. You guys can see there, that's what it looks like in the files, and when we spawn him in, the Strange Man is brought to life. And what this allows us to do is get a better look at who this individual is. And for starters, I think it's pretty obvious, but I know a lot of people are going to draw the conclusions just by the way they dress. This is not Josiah Trelawney. We can clearly see when we zoom in, the facial features are different. Everything about them is different other than the way they dress. Yes, it's a coincidence. They both dress in a fancy suit and have a top hat on. But other than that, they don't have really any similar facial attributes. And even the Strange Man himself in Red Dead Redemption 2 doesn't have any odd markings on him. Like, the other day we were looking at Princess Isabeau and she's got all those birthmarks and pendants. He really doesn't have anything. He's got the top hat, the mustache, maybe some wrinkles around his eyes, but that's about it. I guess maybe you could say it indicates how old he is, if age is even a thing that could define this guy. Who knows? But anyways, that is our close-up look at who the mysterious stranger is. And so what I wanted to do is see what would happen if he visited his own cabin. And this would also give us the chance to use Rockstar's photo mode inside the cabin to see if we could see the actual strange man standing behind us. And I should note that the game that I'm playing on right now is at 100% completion, so if you want to try this for yourself, that's how much of the game I had completed by this point in time. And visiting the cabin for the first time, I had actually realized that it actually takes like 4 or 5 visits for the painting to be complete. So when I walked in the first time, the only thing you could see is like the rough drawing of the painting, but there was no mysterious stranger, no strange man standing in the mirror. So I realized that I had to sleep a couple of times, and that's exactly what I did. So after sleeping for a couple of days and returning to the strange man's cabin, when I entered this time, the painting was completed, and our friend, the strange man, was standing in the mirror. So how cool is that? Now, right off the bat, it looked like nothing, particularly interesting occurred. After all we did was really swap the character model, but I still wanted to see if we could go into photo mode. Would he be there? Because remember, every time you look on the console versions, every time you turn around, he would vanish. So I went into photo mode, and guess what? He's not even there. At least we can't see him in photo mode. What's even creepier, though, is if we go back to the mirror, guess what? He's still there. So something definitely spooky is going on here. I don't know how Rockstar can explain this. He must be like invisible, and the only way for us to see him is the mirror. So maybe the mirror is special. At this point, I don't know if we're talking about witchcrafts or hallucination. All I know is something spooky is going on here because he's clearly there in the mirror, as you guys can see, but when we turn around, he is nowhere to be found. And the same thing happened on the console. As soon as I ended up turning around to actually see if he was there, like I accidentally spun my character around, he also vanished from the mirror. So the second you stop looking at the mirror, he is going to disappear, even if you were there as the strange man. And what also happens is when the painting is complete, you can actually inspect it in your journal, and this place will become painting in cabin, where John, or Arthur if you somehow manage it, says, "This place made me feel like I was being watched, queerest feeling I ever felt. Hard to explain, fascinating and awful and seductive all at once." So it sort of updates on your map and in your journal. And this was just a wild experiment. The strange man is easily one of the creepiest aspects of the game, and he's actually mentioned a lot throughout the story. You kind of have to dig deep for information, but shopkeepers will talk about him, and other campers will also talk about him as well.
Who's that?
I don't know. It's just a little portrait somebody gave me once. I always quite liked it. Why?
No reason. Just seemed familiar. Anyway.
So, not sure you passed through Armadillo at all. Place like hell on earth these days. Used to be quite a nice little town, too. Now it's just dust storms and disease and death. They taking to burning bodies because they can't bury them fast enough. I mean, when you see it, it really feels like something biblical. And I ain't a religious man. Really, it's a sight to behold. I certainly ain't never read the Bible on account of me not reading and all, but for a place to turn like that, so bad and so fast, you can't help but thinking, this can't be of natural causes. Folk there are calling it a curse. And I ain't a superstitious man, but it's hard not to see it any other way. They're saying this figure appears sometimes there in the distance. Black suit and big top hat, then disappears. Shadowy, like he ain't of this mortal realm. The Reaper and his Sunday best. Maybe they're being punished for sins or something, I don't know. I got enough sins on my tally to figure I'm gonna stay well away from there. And I ain't a betting man, but I'd put my money on this. Way things are, won't be long before Tumbleweed is the only town left in these parts, and there won't be nothing in Armadillo but ghosts.
So anyways, that is what happens if you decide to visit the Strange Man's cabin as the Strange Man in Red Dead Redemption 2. Basically, it's just very awkward. I mean, you're the guy on the painting, you're the guy standing there, and you're also the guy in the mirror. But nothing like crazy happens, like the guy in the mirror doesn't like freak out or do anything like that. That would have been cool if Rockstar had programmed something like that into the game. And if you return a second time after you spook away the guy in the painting, he actually isn't there. So you can only see him once. But it was interesting to see that even with the photo mode, that dude is not inside of the cabin. Pretty creepy stuff right there. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about this experiment, what we were able to find out, and what are some other things you would like me to try now that Red Dead Redemption 2 is on PC and we can get things like character changers and we can teleport and stuff like that. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, and more in the comments down below. I'd love to hear from you guys down there. If you guys did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new or you want to stay up to date on all the latest Red Dead Redemption and GTA videos that I'm doing here at my channel. And be sure to ring that notification bell as well. Sometimes YouTube just doesn't work, and if you ring that bell, you'll always be guaranteed to be notified when new videos arrive. But of course, as always, guys, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.